Welcome to this video. How have you been, you beautiful people of YouTube? So I'm not going to be in this video. What is going to be in this video is my setup. Okay, somebody asked me a while ago, hey Malcorify, how do you use this machine right here, which is a DAC, in a gaming setup? Like, how do you use it? What do you do to use it? And I decided to make a video upon this, and this is my gaming setup. It can also be considered a budget gaming setup, and we are gonna go ahead and start it with the video. Now the centerpiece of this setup is actually the TV. The TV is a 4K TV. This right here is a Samsung branded 4K TV, and the model number is MU6290. I will leave a link in the description. It is gonna come up later because the way it is set up, you will need to look up the model number. Okay, so first of all, I'm not the kind of guy that is for two screens, and the reason for that is very simple. I don't think that you need two screens in a gaming setup, because the second screen, you do not need it for absolutely anything. You may want to look up stats of your opponents or whatever, but you can just use the laptop that is sitting over there for that purpose. Various reasons, efficiency, you also have to think about cost, and when you move, it's a lot of things. Single screen setup for me works. Okay, now this monitor right here, I use it for two inputs, one from the PS4 that is right here, and one from the laptop that is right over there. So I use it as a monitor from my PC as well. Now, in order to use a TV monitor as a a television as a monitor, the television needs to have two things. The first thing is the 60 hertz refresh rate minimum. That is the biggest requirement. And the second that not a lot of people know is Chroma Subsampling 4:4:4. Not 4:4:0, not 4:4:2. 4:4:4 is the Chroma Subsampling rate that you need. So you need to look at the TV, you need to do some research that the TV has it, and you need to enable it. Now I'm going to show you how to enable that. And that is required for the PC input, because as you can see, the text here is really crisp. If you do not have Chroma Subsampling, the text will not be as crisp, and you will not be able to effectively use it as a monitor, because with PC, Mac, whatever you use, you need to have those kind of things in place. That is why monitors are sold separately and TVs are sold separately. Okay, so to enable that Chroma Subsampling, we have to first do change some settings in the TV, then we have to change some settings in the PC. So TV1 is pretty simple, and I'm showing you that for this particular TV, it does not apply to all TVs. Obviously, with different manufacturers, different settings, etc. So you go to the settings, and you go to the picture, you go to the expert settings, you make sure everything is okay over here. You see, you're not gonna see, actually this I'm gonna change to standard. I like standard. So everything looks okay here. Once you have checked that, basically you come here to make sure you're not in any eco saving mode or something like that. So you're gonna return, you're gonna go back, and you're gonna go to general, and here is the third tab that is gonna say external device manager. You're gonna click open that, and this is the thing that matters the most. HDMI UHD color for Samsung TVs, you're gonna hit that, and you're gonna make sure both your HDMI 1, I have the PC plugged into number 1, but you're gonna make sure both of these are turned on for HDMI 1 and 2. The 3 is a different one from the rest of them, so you do not need to worry about that. Just plug in your HDMI cable into one of these two. Okay, now so we are done here. We're gonna close it. Gonna return, exit. Okay, now the PC settings are pretty simple. You're gonna go here. You're gonna open up your control panel app here, and you're gonna click onto the hardware and sound, and you're gonna go to your Intel graphics settings. Now you're gonna go to the display. There are going to be two here. You're gonna select digital television Samsung. You're gonna set the resolution to 3840 into 2160. Now you do need a 4K TV for this kind of stuff, so you need the resolution over there. You're gonna set the hertz to the 60, and you're gonna go to the color settings, and this is YCBCR. It is a color profile. There are different color profile like SGB or SGB whatever, but for Chroma subsampling to work, you need it enabled. You're gonna have to look into your PC settings. And 4K are also supported by Windows 10 only, so if you have a Windows 7 8 laptop, I'm sorry. Alright, so just gonna hit apply. Yes, and basically right now your TV is running at the most effective settings that are required for it to on its best behavior as a monitor. You can see here I am opening menus, closing them super crisp. That does not happen when you are not using Chroma subsampling and 60 Hz. Okay, so now the visual part of that setup is done, and I'm going to talk about the audio part. Now here's another reason, audio 2, that I bought this TV, because it does have an optical SPDIF out, which means that I could have this PS4 plugged into one input and that computer plugged into the another through HDMI, and I do not have to have their audio sources into my DAC. I can just optical audio out from the TV onto the my DAC directly, high quality audio from SPDIF port. So that is one of the biggest advantages of buying this TV, which I bought on sale, by the way. And okay, so when you have your optical out, and I have that FX-Audio Dac X6, I do not need to worry about all that stuff. I can just have my TV input it out into, so whatever I'm playing on the TV will be played through here. So right now, switch it to the optical. It is right here. And there are two problems with that. Okay, the problem number one is gaming. When you are gaming with your PS4, if you are playing any kind of games where you need to speak with someone, with your teammates, you're gonna have to use a mic. Now, problem with this headphone cable plugged onto here is that I cannot use a mic. I'll have to plug this cable onto the controller. That is the simplest solution. But why have a high quality DAC when you have to use the output from that shitty PS4 controller? So there are two ways to fix that. Number one is you use the antilon mod mic, which will have a thing that will attach here with the magnet, and you will have the mic like the one that I'm using right now. I'll show you in a second. This one, the antilon mod mic, is just this part, and it has a separate cable going for the mic out, so you can attach that headphone cable here and just put it over there and have plug it in the controller and have this cable for the headphone only, and that is one way to fix that. What I used is a more universal solution, sort of, and I'm using an external mic. This is the Yeti, Snowball, Blue Yeti, whatever the name of this thing is. It is pretty popular. I will leave a link down below. I bought it used for 40 bucks with an arm. So when I will change to a desk, I will attach it with the arm over around here. So it does not matter where I'm sitting, it will pick me up. And you can get a pretty decent far field working microphone. They have the step up from this one is the one that is far field working microphone, and you can buy that used for 70-80 bucks. So if you have money to spare, it's a pretty good solution. You're gonna be spending on antilon mod mic 50 bucks anyway, so why not just spend it on a good microphone that has a universal use scenario. Now the problem of the mic is fixed. There is another problem. Now where this camera is, behind the camera is my bed, and sometimes I like to lay on that bed and watch the movies. Now when I audio out from the optical, this knob controls the volume, not the TV anymore. So if I want to add speakers to this setup, which you will have to do because sound is not coming out from here anymore, I will use the preamp out from that thing. But the problem with that is the look, let me go through the speakers real quick. There are two kinds of speaker: passive speakers which need an external amplifier, and powered speakers which do not. And most of the speakers commonly used are powered speakers. Soundbar, home theater, all of that stuff have their amplifiers built in. But audiophiles usually like to use passive speakers because they can choose the amplifier they can use. So they can use different kind of amplifiers that sound different and have different levels of powers. So there's going to be a stack over here. There's going to be a speaker amplifier on top of this. But the problem is that if the speaker amplifier also has a volume knob like this, I will have to sit close to it every time I want to adjust the volume. The way to fix that is to get a speaker amplifier which has a remote, so you can adjust the volume from anywhere in the room. If you are just gonna use it as a desk setup, which I use it for the most part, you will be fine. But if you are anywhere in the room, couple feet away from it, it is kind of annoying. Have to go over every single time there's a loud scene in a movie. You have to tone it down. I will leave the link for the amplifiers and everything. And that is my gaming setup explained. Single screen, optical out from the TV, PS4 and PC are both plugged into the TV, and we will use this DAC X6 with a external microphone. So that is the way to use this thing for the gaming. The main point of this video is you have to use an external microphone if you want to reap the benefits of using that. You can use this thing moda Boom Pro, but the thing is the adapter it comes, you will have to use another extension wire to plug it into the remote. And when you do that, the ground is not separated. They share a ground, and which will cause a squeaking noise in your gameplay, the people that will be hearing you. So that is my video on this setup. And today is Christmas. Merry Christmas to all of you. And the people who are not Christians, happy Monday. That's what Neil deGrasse Tyson said on Twitter today. I'm just copying him. But Merry Christmas though. That is it for this video. Let me know any questions, comments, and do subscribe to this channel. We are stuck on 77 for a long time. Let's try to up it to 100, or I will destroy all the setups. Anyway, have a good weekend. If I don't upload a video on New Year, Happy New Year, and love ya. Bye.